Ready?
10,000 portions.
Is that what he says?
I don't remember what he says. Do they literally get paid in food in that movie? Is that what happens?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like they can't even like trade it really. They have to eat it. That's
and
food.
they have to do the fucking job too. Otherwise, you don't eat.
You see her eating it, but she also makes bread. So where'd she get the bread?
Yeah, where did she get the bread? Why did she need the little packet stuff?
Maybe she traded some packets for the bread.
Maybe, but then where did she get the bread?
I don't know.
Fuck.
I saw how they did that. How they did that scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Like it was just water with some like white shit in it. Then at the bottom, the bread is a balloon. So they would fill the balloon up, and then there was a hole, and they would just drain the water, and that's how they did it.
Interesting.
Yeah, the bread was just a little balloon that they would. That's a pretty cool effect.
That is a cool effect.
Yeah.
I like that. They did a good job on that. The rest of them, though, are all terrible.
Yeah, there's good effects in that movie, but even The Force Awakens is like.
That's what it's called, The Force Awakens. Yeah.
I like that movie. I would have liked it a lot more if the other movies delivered, you know?
I agree. It was a good, middle ground for everything, and then...
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're just starting over. Fair enough. And then they did nothing with it.
Yep. All their chances, all their opportunities to do anything special just died.
I will say JJ at least tried to do something different. Fuck the show, dude. Let's just talk about Star Wars.
All right. I mean, I'm down. Wait, is that a Stubborn soda that you have right there?
Hell yeah, it is.
Hello, boyos!
Hello, boyos!
This is Loner Gamescast, where we discuss everything is a video game. Even you and me, Jacob over there, that guy over there, he's a video game. Life is a video game. Yeah, see, he's doing the Tetris thing.
That's
The
Pac-Man.
thing that the Tetris, I know.
This is Pac-Man.
This week, we're talking about, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about Cyberpunk, because we're always talking about Cyberpunk. It's the only fucking news that comes out. We also have the PlayStation 5 sales numbers, and Nier Automata. Somebody has finally figured out the last... They hid something in the game, and somebody's figured out what the last hidden thing is in the game. And I'll go into that a little bit. And Microsoft and modding video games. Welcome to the show. My name is Nick. Like I said before, that's Jake over there doing the Tetris thing.
God. just okay.
All right, let's
how you doing,
stop
Nick?
stop goofing around. I'm doing all right.
Stop goofing around. We gotta get serious. This is serious.
This is a
journalism.
serious show. Yeah, this is serious video gaming. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you? You doing okay?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
I know that's not true, but I mean,
I've talked to you. I have not seen you in 2 weeks.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. We did have a little. How was your New Year, Nick?
It was all right. You posted that video on that short clip of our New Year's and the excitement that ensued. That was pretty funny. That's what we did. It was good. I enjoyed it. I miss having parties and shit, my dude. I miss having parties.
Hey, just throwing this out there. Before we get to the news, I have a question to ask, but we can do what you've been playing first.
Okay, well, let's get to it. Let's get right to it. What you been playing, Jake?
I've been playing Stardew Valley, okay?
Oh, shit.
I'm bringing it back, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were talking about how Stardew Valley is far superior to Animal Crossing. At least I believe that. I 100% believe this. And went back to it. I've been playing it again. It's fantastic. It's always just fun to play. I've been playing with my co-host of the Jake and Corey podcast. I'm Jake. He's Corey.
Wow, I would never have guessed.
Yeah, we've been playing Stardew. We got a little farm going on. I've been trying to romance Elliot.
Oh, the guy on the beach?
Yeah, he really likes fish. So I give him fish and seashells, and he likes it. And yeah, it's nice.
That's cool.
I won the egg hunt.
That's hard. That's actually pretty hard.
Yeah, I've never done that before. They give you a hat.
Oh. I gotta ask, what system have you been playing it on? I know you have it on all systems.
I do. I've played it on every system. When I first played it on PlayStation. Then I got it on the Switch. Then I got it on my phone, which is where I spent a good majority of my time with Stardew. But now I'm playing it on PC.
Oh my god, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I figured you would say your phone since like Christmas and stuff. You just
I'm streaming.
You're not really going out with friends and family, so it doesn't matter.
I'm streaming it anyway, so PC is just the easiest for that. But it's been fun. I miss that game. I haven't really been playing anything else besides like Tetris, which goes without saying.
Yeah.
That's really
I mean, except for this time.
What do you mean?
You definitely just said it. What? It doesn't go without saying anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. What you been playing?
I just decided to derail that whole thing. I've been playing...
I just didn't get what you meant. I was like...
I know. I know. I saw it in your eyes. You got real scared there for a second.
Well, I thought you were saying I played something else that I forgot.
No,
I don't think I have played anything else. Anyway.
No, it was stupid. Don't even worry about it. Anyway, I've been playing too much Risk of Rain 2 on the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 4. It is on the PlayStation 4 as well. That game is so fucking fun. It is so simple. It's made by like 4 guys. It's a roguelite, third-person action bullet hell-ish sort of game where you can play with your mates. Up to 4 people can play together. And once you hit like a certain point in the game where you get items from chests, you buy chests and they drop items. And once you get a certain amount of items in the game, you're just pretty much unstoppable on the easiest difficulty. Haven't really tried the normal difficulty. That's the way it's supposed to be played, but it's really hard. So I think that's what we're going to do tonight is play on the normal difficulty, see if we can make it. Yeah, it's super good. The progression in it is really good. There's 10 characters, and each one of them has like certain things that you have to do in order to unlock other abilities for those characters. And it has a really good feel of progression and unlocks in that game. Yeah, that's pretty much it though. I kind of went back to Nier Automata, which I'll get back to later in the show. But yeah, it's been really good. It's been fun as fuck. And yeah, that's it. I'll leave it there. I'll leave that and for the end of the show.
There we go. So I wanted to ask you, Nick.
Yeah.
This is our first show back at the New Year's, even though last week I said that show was going to be the first show of the new year. I was totally wrong. I don't know why I was saying that. This is our first show back of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to ask, do you have any like predictions for this year as far as like video games go? Like any hot takes that you think might happen? Any wild, random things? What do you think?
Well, I think that Freedom Fighters is going to get a re-release. No, it's hot takes. I think this year is going to be slow. I think this is going to be a very slow year up until Christmas holiday season-ish, like that October to December area. That's when we're going to get some pretty heavy hitters. Unless Nintendo just kind of throws something, I could see this happening. Nintendo just kind of throws something out there that's like, oh yeah, we've been working on F-Zero. Here's an F-Zero remake. And it's coming out in July. Like, I could see them doing that, but that would probably be my only hot take, would be that Nintendo throws a wrench into this year in a good way, and they just kind of blow us out of the water with something else that sweeps America, just kind of like how Animal Crossing did.
I have a few hot takes. I'm not sure if these will happen, but here's a couple hot takes, okay?
All right.
First hot take. I think we'll finally get a trailer for Metroid. I think we'll finally get that. And I think
it doesn't exist.
I feel like in tandem with that, they will also announce a Switch Plus or whatever they'll call it.
Like, the Switch 2?
Not a Switch 2,
Switch
it's
Pro.
like a Switch Pro, like the new 3DS, sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, Metroid's going to run even better on this. And also Cyberpunk. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god! I hope not. They need to fix their shit before they.
But if they have a Switch Plus, I do think it's likely that we could see like more intensive games come there. I mean, we already have like Doom Eternal and stuff, but we could see some things. But another hot take, maybe we get a release date for Beyond Good and Evil 2. They haven't talked about that game in a long time.
I don't think that game exists either. Neither of these games that you were saying actually exist. They're just numbers and letters on a board. That's all they are.
Yeah. They've got to announce this soon, right? So those are a couple of my hot takes. I'm also hoping. What do you think? Like, we don't know. We don't know where like things are going to be with the vid. The big COVID.
Okay.
Like, I'm hoping at some point this year we'll deal with it. Who knows? But what does that mean for like conventions and stuff? And specifically, what does that mean for E3?
See, I was going to get into this also. If you weren't going to, I was going to transition into this.
Yeah,
I was going to say like maybe like COVID, maybe because they get like companies that are making these like, hey, I took the test and I tested negative and I have a COVID vaccine, and the like turns green on your phone or whatever. Like up here, it's like, no, look at this, it's green. I can come in. I have the shots or whatever. I feel like that could be an option. Maybe not this year, but next year. And I think E3 could come back this year, but very limited. Maybe to like media only. Kind of close everything off, have everybody kind of. It would be a really shitty E3 as far as like lines and shit, and the number of people and crowd reactions and stuff like that. But I think they could do it this year if
I feel like that's what E3
going,
should be anyway.
I think so too. I don't know why they opened it up.
Because we already, PAX and like that's what those are already. Like I don't think E3 needs to be that sort of fan convention.
Right. Yeah, I could see that happening this year. Not to the public, but to certain people, probably not to us, Jake, even though we're 5-star fucking journalists over here.
That's right.
It'll be
doctorate in journalism over here.
Yeah, it'll be like IGN and Polygon and I don't even know the other ones.
Kotaku.
Yeah, those guys will go, but I don't think anybody else will. But which would be fine too, because then we could see trailers again. Because last year we didn't really get an E3. We got like E3 weekend sort of thing.
But I wonder, like, what that, last year without an E3. It's the first year without an E3. Second year of no PlayStation at E3.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft has been doing its own sort of thing during E3 for years already.
Right.
So I wonder if last year was maybe a sign to the big guys, the big guns, that like maybe we don't need to do E3. Maybe E3 is unnecessary. Specifically, you know, the big conferences and stuff. You know, having your thing on the showroom floor or whatever. But like the big conferences, I think for sure we're not going to see anything on stage. But even like doing your you know, Nintendo Direct at the same time as everyone else, like what's the point? You can do it at any point throughout the year. That's kind of what PlayStation has been doing. They're like, we've got some stuff to say. Here it is. I think Xbox is going to jump on that bandwagon now. The other big person that was at, you know, the big people at E3 were always Sony, who hasn't been in 2 years,
right?
Xbox, Ubisoft, Nintendo,
right.
Bethesda, and in 2019 we had Square Enix, and those are like the big things. But like Bethesda is now with Xbox, so that's one person that's gone. You know, Sony hasn't gone for a while. What is
EA?
Ubisoft?
EA
could probably talk about, and EA hasn't done anything of interest for a long time. And last time there was an E3, they did it before E3. You know,
they do their own thing, EA Play or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
they do
not
the
actually
EA
part
Play.
of E3. What is like why are we doing that? Like we're gonna have it a day before E3, so it's in that E3 bracket, but we're also not part of E3. That just doesn't quite make any sense.
It probably
to me.
saves them a bunch of money. They get the attention of being part of E3 without actually paying the E3 money. You know.
Yeah, but they still have to. You know, they still put up like a booth or whatever and have like a conference or a sit down or whatever, and there's a crowd. It's like they're in a different venue. It seems.
Well, and that's what Xbox does too.
Do they?
Yeah, they usually work with E3, but they usually have their own venue across the street. I'm going to be super optimistic here though, and just say I really hope the vaccine just like works really fucking well, better than we had ever anticipated. That's my number one hope, and I hope that by September we're allowed to have PAX and shit again. You know?
Well, that'd be awesome.
Because you know, it could spiral downwards faster than we expect. I really hope so. I'd love to see more events happen again. I'd love to see, you know, fuck E3. I think E3 is dead. But I'd love to see PAX and stuff. I'd love to see something take E3's place. I'd love to see the Game Awards where there's an actual crowd again. Because there is something to be said about like, and everyone keeps talking about how, well, these publishers, you know, they saved a lot of money by not going to E3 and stuff. But it's like, yeah, but you know how much attention they get when they spend that money and they go to E3 and they have the big, you know, press conference with all those people there. It's like a big spectacle. And that's the whole reason you do it. And I think especially after a year like last year, and let's say things are going well and, you know, the vid is under control a bit, I think it's worthwhile to do a big conference like that if it's safe, obviously. I think it's worthwhile, especially this year, because we haven't seen that in a long time. And people will be like, oh, wow, look at them. Like, they're going to get so much more, even if it's like Ubisoft, like, they're going to get way more attention than anyone else that's just doing a direct. Because it's like, oh, wow, they're doing like a big thing. They brought a band up on stage, you know? Like, that was always a big part of Sony's thing. I loved seeing Sony's thing, like, where they'd always have the big orchestra and shit. Like, that was always exciting. And, like, you'd always talk about the games. I don't know.
See, that was the best part of E3, though. Like, the best part of E3 for us, for the people who couldn't go, for the fans, was watching these conferences at your home with all of your buds, or, you know, they're at home and you're at home and you're both watching on the same time and you're on the headset or whatever. And you just get excited about what's going on, what's coming up. Um,
And you
it,
get like kind of excited about a state of play, but it's not the same sort of
it's
hype.
not, yeah, it's not the same at all because, you know, it's like, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes or whatever. Like, I think the grandiose uh, production of it is kind of what makes it a little bit more special. Um, and you know, if I feel like if E3 or whatever it would be called just dies, and we don't have anything like that, and all it is Nintendo Directs every month or so, or Sony Directs or Microsoft Directs every month, I feel like it would just kind of be, it would fall flat at a certain point, because you know that there's like 2 or 3 weeks where there's no news right before E3, and you're like, come on, give us just something. And then you get leaks like 2 or 3 days before, and you're like, is this a real thing? Is this really going to happen? And then they do the whole E3 thing, the whole showcase, and then it's just like an overwhelming amount of positive energy, you know, and you're just super excited about it. And I don't know,
Yeah, but
it would
that
suck.
at
It
the
would
same
suck for
time,
something like that to die.
at the same time, that could be sort of like problematic because I mean, we've seen it with Cyberpunk and stuff where maybe you announce things early because you want to have something that's hype, but it's not ready to be announced, but you need that hypeness. And
Right.
I actually believe that Beyond Good and Evil 2 was one of those things where they were just like very excited to show this off. Ubisoft needed that big thing. Like, how many times can you show off Far Cry? You know?
Right.
So let's show
Right.
off Beyond Good and Evil. And, you know, we've been waiting on that game for what, 4 years, 5 years now? So
At this point, yeah. Yeah. It does reach that line where it's like, it kind of brings up kind of the marketing and the sales version of it. It's like, is it too early to raise the hype? Because like that's kind of where we're sitting at right now for like the bigger games, at least for Bethesda games. Like last time Bethesda had a thing, they announced 2 games that
that we knew were coming.
that we knew were coming already, and also didn't have any sort of information. It was like, oh, Elder Scrolls, but we're not even going to say the title of it because we don't have a title.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why did you announce that? But also, the same team is making something in space.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to show you any of that either because it's not even close to being able to show you what it is.
And especially with like COVID, like who knows, like things that maybe would have come out this year aren't coming out this year now. And you know, the same thing is true with like movies where you like you know, like Marvel, right? They did their big slate of like Marvel movies. Well, that whole thing is fucked now. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
they're gonna change all of that. They may even cut entire movies from that thing now. Because
and
they went a whole year without releasing any fucking Marvel movies except for Spider-Man. You know?
Did that come out this year?
Well, last year, yeah.
Well, yeah, that came out, but that was before the Rona.
Right, I think it came out in like January, February.
Yeah. So, I was going to say something on that point, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, I was going to say, I'm sure that there are games that have been cut because people are working from home now and it's going slower than if, you know, you have your whole team of 16 in the same room where you can go, hey, Bill, you have an idea how I could do this? And then he goes over and goes, yeah, just do this. You know, it'd be faster than writing an email, sending it, and then I feel like a lot of games have gotten scrapped because of the cost for time and pushed back for sure. Like there are so many games I'm positive got pushed back.
But last point on E3 real quick. I want to say this real quick. You know, back when E3 was dying, right? Like we all knew E3 was dying, even pre-COVID. Like we were all like, what's the point? Like, why do
Mhm.
they have these giant conferences? And it was like a novel idea to be like, okay, well, we can do this all from home. You know, we can have these like online web conferences. But like once the COVID ends, you know, people are not going to want that anymore.
Yeah.
People don't
Yeah.
want to stay home anymore. You know, we've had a year of staying home nonstop for most of us. And I think people want those big events, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude.
back when pre-COVID, people were like, I just want to fucking stay home, you know? I don't want to go do. And now everyone's like, I don't want to fucking stay home. I want to go do these big conferences, you know? I want to go to PAX. I want to go to E3, you know? So, you know, maybe that might not be this year, but you know, definitely next year, you know, people are gonna want to do these big conferences. So I think like if E3 dies, something will take its place. Same with PAX. If PAX dies, I don't know how healthy PAX is right now, but like if PAX dies, something will take its place because I think people are like desperate to do some stuff like that, and I think the companies are desperate to supply that for
Yeah.
people as well.
Yeah, like the whole thing, like even we didn't have Comic-Con this year. We didn't have a thing in
Yeah.
Phoenix called Saboten, which is like a anime convention, and it's like it's really small. And I'm like, it would have been fun to just like have one of those. Just kind of forget everything that's happening and just go to that. And I think people really are going to jump on that as soon as they can.
Yeah.
As soon as people are like, it's safe to go outside now, you know?
It's gonna be like one of the first things I do.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to a restaurant, but after that, I'm going to like a concert. You know, I'm going to like that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
care, man. Like, I'm going to the
Yeah.
beach. I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah,
You know,
seriously.
like and that's what
I'm gonna
everyone
start-
is thinking. I
I'm
think
gonna start
everyone's
traveling. Oh yeah.
everyone
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
everyone right now is saying like, well, I don't know, like I think I'm gonna be like, even after the vaccine is good and like it's all clear, I think we're all gonna still be a little scared. I don't think so, man. I think as soon as we're allowed to go out, people are gonna be like, let's fucking go crazy. And I think people will, and everyone's gonna get strep throat, everyone's gonna get the cold or whatever, and that's fine.
Something else, Corona 2.
Well, I hope not, but everyone is gonna get sick, but like an okay kind of sick. You're gonna get strep throat and it's gonna suck for a week, but you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna get mono and your heart rate's gonna go
But that
up.
you know that's
But you'll be all right.
that's my optimistic heart there. So
I was gonna do something for something, but yeah, it would be really great to just do that, to go out and have fun with the peeps in society. Like it hasn't even been a year, and it's like really taken a toll,
yeah.
Anyway, with that, let's get to the news.
I heard the first stroke and then it cut off. There you go.
Did that work? There you go. That's the news sound now.
That's too good.
The first piece of news: investors looking to sue CD Projekt Red over bungled. I think that's what that says. Bungled Cyberpunk 2077 launch. This comes from Ashley Cameron at The Verge. Carmen. Sorry, Cameron. Not this time, Cameron. Can't weasel your way into the show this time. A lawsuit filed yesterday against CD Projekt Red, the company behind Cyberpunk, obviously, claims investors were misled about the game's performance ahead of its release, causing a significant stock price drop and losses. Okay. CD Projekt allegedly failed to convey that the game was virtually unplayable, the lawsuit states, and instead marketed it as a successful with few issues that would go unnoticed by players. CD Projekt said in a court filing it would vigorously defend itself against the investors' claims. So all that mumbo jumbo pretty much means somebody's trying to sue CD Projekt Red, or a group of investors are trying to sue them because CD Projekt misled them on how the game plays and that it's ready and not or not. This is kind of fucked up because investors push them to fucking put this game out, and now they want to sue the company. I feel like that's such a double-edged sword. I don't know if that's the correct word for that,
No,
but it's like it's just like the one of the reasons that it is so buggy is because it came out so fast. And I guarantee you it was a lot of pressure from investors to get the game out as soon as possible. I mean, marketing for that game was horseshit as well. Whoever is on the marketing team should not be on the marketing team anymore because it was so hype for nothing, and it just did a very poor job at explaining what the game was.
Yeah, I mean, like, lying to the consumers is kind of inevitable. We've seen it at E3 forever, where they show you one thing and then the game comes out and it looks entirely different. We've seen that so many times. And they CD Projekt came out and was like, you see all these people walking around, they live a full life cycle day night, and you can follow them around and watch them live their lives, and then you follow them around in game and they just walk in circles.
Yeah.
Or you shoot a gun in the air, look down, and they all disappear. Like, the game is not what they marketed it as, but that's totally different, right?
Right.
That's totally different. Whatever. Fair enough. This is why we have reviews. This is why reviews are a good thing. This is why I actually appreciate media journalism as much as I rail on them, because they can tell you about shit like that. Although, oddly, they were way more, they would talk about the bugs, but they never talk about stuff like that in their reviews. Isn't that interesting?
It is. It is really interesting
because I think they get lost in the hype too. I think
you're right, because like when the game first came out, like a week after it came out, reviews were still good. It was still in like the like I think it started with like a 93 score, and as it went on, I think it's now at like a 70.
Yeah, I've seen some videos on just like, even beyond the bugs, like this game just isn't that.
It's not finished.
Like,
it's not finished.
The AI is stupid. The cars don't know how to drive. Cops just appear out of nowhere. Like,
there are literal holes in the map that you can jump into and die because you fall out of the map.
The upgrade tree is weird and makes no sense. There's one upgrade I saw where it's you take less damage when you take a hostage, and like hold them or whatever. That's not even a thing in the game. Like, you can grab someone in stealth mode, but you can't shoot at anyone while you.
Right.
So what is the point of that upgrade?
There's so much stuff missing.
There's so much stuff like that where, like, obviously they had a whole other game that they were making, or there was more to this game, and they took stuff out. But yeah, like I said, that's something totally different. But what you say to your investors needs to be true, and you cannot say to your investors, this game runs surprisingly well on the PS4. And then it comes out and it doesn't even fucking run on it. Like, you can't do that to your investors.
Right.
So yeah, that's why they're suing. And CD Projekt is like, no, we're not gonna. So we'll see what comes out of this. But I'm a little torn on it because,
I kind of hope they lose. I kind of hope CD Projekt loses, because if they don't lose, I feel like they could become an EA sort of company where they spend all this time on a game. Well, EA doesn't spend a lot of time on a game. They spend time on a game and then they release it and it's just broken, but it's okay because it's EA and they have enough money. I feel like CD Projekt at this point can get away with something like that as scummy as EA could, and I really don't want them to think that they can. You know?
Yeah, but on the flip side, they may become a Telltale kind of company if they lose too.
Good.
Where
Good.
they just
Stop
disappear.
Stop doing these grandiose games that you can't deliver on. They've
You know
been working on this game for 8 years.
You know, be wild. You know, like how Xbox bought Bethesda when they were kind of falling down,
Right.
and they needed someone to pick them up and like, you know, I mean, we'll see. We really haven't seen an Xbox Bethesda game yet, but we'll see. But like, what if Sony bought CD Projekt Red?
See, I don't think that would happen.
That would be
because
fucking wild. What's the big thing that Sony's missing as far as like their games? A big RPG developer.
that's true.
That's what they need the most.
That's
Just throwing
very
it
true.
out there. Just throwing it out there, you know, just
Get it from EA. Buy it from EA. Get BioWare. Make it better.
yeah, that ain't happening. Just buy EA.
Buy EA. There you go. You got sports. You got RPGs. You got
Sports.
space. Like,
Got Mass Effect, yeah.
what was I gonna? I was gonna say something on that. Yeah. It was 8 years. 8 years of making this game. 8 years for investors to jump on. 8 years of the same hardware. They're using PS4s. Well, they're using PCs to make the game, but also it's being built for PS4 hardware. And then when the game finally comes out, for 8 years, after 8 years, after all of that work on the PlayStation 4, base PlayStation 4 hardware, it still cannot run on the base PlayStation 4 hardware. That doesn't make any sense. Whereas you have like games like Red Dead Redemption
Right.
that run beautifully and have way more systems in them. Granted, they're not like character systems. But there's
But
cutscenes.
the character systems don't mean dick in Cyberpunk from what I've seen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, there's so many systems in Cyberpunk. You have like your augments, you have your guns, you have your clothing, you have your skills, you have your attribute points. They're all different, and they're all different systems, and they all scale different things, but they're all broken. How do you mess that up so bad? How is that? Like, I feel like
I
I feel like
really
halfway through the game, they just kind of hired new people, or they took like the development team and turned it into the art team, and the art team into the development team, and that went, good luck, figure it out, you know, because it's so obviously just there's missing things in it.
So I heard a rumor that like they didn't actually start really developing this game until 2016, which could explain a
Still.
lot. Where they just
Still,
well, I know, but that's only 3 years for such an ambitious game. They announced it forever ago, and that's probably the issue, is that they decided to announce it. And while they announced it, after they announced it, they released The Witcher 3, and, you know, which was one of the most successful games like ever. And they got way more ambitious with it, and then they had to cut a lot of stuff, which since they cut a lot of stuff, they didn't get to work on the stuff that was actually in the game. I don't know, man. I'd love to see like Danny O'Dwyer go down there with NoClip and do a documentary about what the fuck happened to this game, because something weird happened where
I can almost bet that there will be like some sort of documentary. If it's not NoClip, it's going to be something else, where somebody just goes in there and just goes,
yeah,
the
well,
fuck, guys.
I'm sure
you know?
I'm sure they don't want to admit any, at least the higher ups probably don't want to like admit to any of the things that probably happened, because I'm sure what happened is
not
like
not now, but I'm sure
future,
if they fix the game and the game becomes a hit in a year or whatever, like The Witcher did, and
but like this is worse than The Witcher though, right? Don't you think?
It's so much worse than The Witcher. It's so bad. The Witcher was like bugs and UI problems and just quality of life sort of things. Crashes here and there, but nothing like this. This is like 10 times
yeah,
worse.
because this goes beyond bugs from what I've
Yeah.
seen. It's like this is
Yeah.
like an incomplete game, like with missing entire systems.
Yeah.
Um,
That are there. There's proof that they are there.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre. It's it would be such a good documentary or
Some
interview
developer,
at least.
some fucking developer needs to quit and do a tell-all, because like they could come on my show, Deep Dive with Jake. Let me know what happened.
Dude, that'd be like a 5-hour long deep dive, I'm sure.
Dude, I'd love it. I would do it. Hit me up. Lonercastbooking@gmail.com. Come on.
Yeah, man. So don't lie to your fucking investors. Those are the people that give you money. You lie to them, you're gonna
Yeah. Don't lie to us either, but
regret it. I mean, gamers are a little bit more understanding.
I mean, if the game is good enough, which this game wasn't, so.
Right. Yeah, and like, I don't know. It's very strange because I've put like 30 hours into this game, and that's a lot of fucking time to put into a game. And I didn't get very far before I went, there's so much missing, and I'm just gonna wait until they put shit back in it.
That's where I am, and
they fix stuff.
I'm almost like, I don't know if I am gonna go back, you know?
Yeah, at this point, it's just kind of on my PlayStation and sitting there, and I'm like, man, I want to play it, but I know I'll start playing it and then just get upset that it's like a demo. It's like I'm playing it.
It's like a proof of concept.
As if I worked there, you know? It's like, okay, go home and tell us the bugs. Play it and tell us the bugs, and then give it to our coding team to see if they can iron out those bugs. Like, I feel like I'm that guy, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to pay for something
bad,
like that.
Man.
It feels like I should be getting paid for that kind of thing, you know? Because people do get paid for that kind of thing. Just not me.
Playtesters.
Yeah, playtesters, even people in the company who do stuff like voice acting. They all have the copies of the game, and they all play it at night. And, you know, granted, they're all probably on PC, which still, PC looks fine, runs fine, but it still has those missing systems in it. Why? Like,
there's like stuff from the trailers that aren't in the game.
Yeah, you think that like somebody at CDPR would just be like, hey, you know, we have this skill here that says you can do one thing, but that's not a thing we can actually do in this build. We should probably take that out. You know, nobody came up. It's just mind-boggling how messy this whole thing is. And they've kind of gone.
Where's the flying cars? Where's the flying cars, man?
There's like 2 of them, dude. You see them flying every once in a while.
Doesn't Ciri say in The Witcher that she saw flying cars?
Yeah,
or some shit?
Yeah, something like that.
Where's the flying cars? Where are they?
Yeah, it's bad, dude. And speaking of bad, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to have free DLC early 2021. This comes straight from their website. So what?
How are they doing DLC?
How is that? Yeah, how is that a possibility in the slightest? Is the DLC? I really hope they mean DLC as in like it's downloadable content that should have been in the game at first. You know, it's just stuff that we're putting in. It's downloadable content, but it's not like an add-on. It's like
this is the game.
This is more of the game.
The rest of the game.
We forgot the pieces in there.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's really kind of surprising to see that on their website. It's straight from their website. It says Cyberpunk 2077 free DLC early 2021, or check back early 2021 or something like that. And it's like, wow.
Why if it was like late 2021, maybe, but like, dude, you gotta fix your game before you start releasing DLCs.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know what that means, so we'll definitely have to have some sort of conversation about it, I'm sure. Um, and then another story from the Digitimes. They report that Sony has shipped 3.4 million PS5 in the first month. It is the highest ever for a PlayStation. And that is including all those fucking people who couldn't buy one. Like, or that's not including all those people that couldn't
Right.
buy one, rather. Um, so
That's a lot.
that's so many.
What are the best selling systems?
The Wii. The Wii is the best selling system.
No. The PS2 is sold better than the Wii.
What?
Yeah.
The 3DS, because there's so many of them.
It's the best selling consoles. Keep talking.
Yeah, so that's a lot, and we kind of expected it, sort of.
Okay, so here we go. I'm back. PlayStation 2 sold 155 million units, right?
Total. That's total.
Total, correct.
Right.
But PS4, which is goes PlayStation 2, Nintendo DS, Game Boy, and then PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 sold 113 million. I'm just saying, like, if they keep this trajectory going, they're going to be the best-selling console of all time. Like, it's going to happen, right? I mean...
The trajectory of going down?
Well, just selling 3 million in the first month.
Oh, I see what you're saying. In the first month, yeah. It's going to be... something. What was the PS2 number?
155 million plus.
Yeah, I feel like they could easily sell 200 million.
By the way,
300 million.
The Wii is the fifth best selling console.
Good, fuck that console.
Right below the PlayStation 1.
Ooh.
Get fucked, Wii. Get fucked.
Get fucked, Wii. What about the Wii U? I want to know that. Give me that one.
Oh god, I can't even find it.
It's the fucking lowest.
Oh, here it is. I'll have to count this. Hold on.
Go for it.
Keep talking.
We're gonna go to the next story because that's all there is on that one. After almost 5 years, the final secret of Nier Automata.
It's the 21st best-selling console.
Great.
Right below the GameCube.
Oh, no shit.
And right above the Sega Game Gear.
Oh, poor GameCube, dude. I love that thing.
And the Game Gear is right above the PlayStation Vita.
Wow. Man, Vita 2, please. That's what's coming out this year. You asked me earlier in the show. That's going to be an announcement. Vita 2.
Yo, but looking at their sales number, about 10 to 15 million units.
Oof.
Eesh.
Oof. Anyway.
That's bad.
After almost 5 years of the game being out, the final secret of Nier Automata has been found. This is a short story. It's been... When the game first came out, they're like, hey, there's a lot of shit in this game, a lot of secrets, a lot of hidden stuff. And people kept like checking in, like, "Hey, is this the last thing? Have we found all of the secrets?" And I don't remember Platinum or whoever, Yokotaro, whoever's tweeted out like, "No, that's not."
Smiley head man.
They're like, "Is this the last one? Have we found everything in the game?" He's like, "No, not yet. You're missing a couple of things." And then as it got on, he's like, "Nope, you're still missing one thing. There's still something you guys haven't found." Well, earlier this week, or rather last week, a guy found the last thing. And it's a cheat code from after the first like main encounter of the game. You can go into a corner and you press certain buttons. It's a fucking cheat code. It's old school cheat codes. L1, R1, L1, R1, L2, R2, up, down, left, right, L1, R1, like that kind of bullshit. It is that. And what it does is it takes you from the first encounter to the very end boss, and it unlocks everything for you, which is pretty fucking great. And I haven't tried it yet, but I really want to. I haven't had the time to jump on it. Yeah, so I think that's really cool that we still have fucking cheat codes in 2020. Well, whenever that game came out, 2016.
Yeah, cheat codes these days are called DLC.
Yeah, they're called microtransactions.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, EA. And then the last piece of news we got is Phil Spencer talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator and how he's happy that people are getting paid for modding the game, which is kind of cool. It's much better than Todd Howard talking about people modding Fallout and going, no, you have to pay us to mod, and we won't pay you because you're a filthy modder.
Don't get me started on Nintendo.
Yeah. Honestly.
Sheesh.
This comes straight from Phil Spencer in an interview. He said, how do we take that same capability and unlock the creative potential of the community to go and build content that we can sell to people who are playing? I love going on today, and I was looking through the marketplace for content in Flight Sim. There are tons of stuff to go by. It's just cool to see people building their business around creating content for video games. Dude, Phil Spencer is a homie. He's like taking over in my mind for Reggie Fils-Aimé. You know how Reggie was. He'd be like, man, you're just a good dude. I feel the vibes from you. Phil Spencer's kind of just like that dude. He's like, yeah, you play games. You do you, man.
Well, the difference between Phil and Reggie though is like I never believed Reggie played video games. Never.
Right.
Never once in my life did I ever think that Reggie played video games. Phil, I'm like, dude, this guy goes home. I see him in interviews these days. He looks stoned as fuck all the time. And
Sure does.
that dude just goes home and fucking plays Call of Duty and 360 no scopes bitches. Like, that's what he does. And
you think so? You think he's like one of those hardcore gamers? I don't think so. I think he goes home and he turns on his PlayStation and he plays Uncharted. You know?
Yeah. Probably.
I think that's what he does. He just goes
and even if he's full of shit. Story. Even if he's full of shit and he's lying to us about being this in love with video games and stuff, even if he is that full of shit, it's still fine. It's still better than what Nintendo's doing. At least he's like giving us what we want. He's allowing a community to make money. In fact, they'll probably farm some of those people and be like, hey, you want to just come work for us? And like that's the way it should work on like Nintendo, where it's like, well, if we're not making the money from it, then fuck you. Where it's like Phil Spencer's like, we've already made the money from Flight Sim by you buying it. You do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I talked about this in my video forever ago about Dreams, where I'm like, Dreams can turn into a game that people could potentially make money from, right? Where they could like sell assets and sell games and stuff. But that never happened. If Phil Spencer was in charge of Dreams, that's what would have happened, and he would have supported the community and he would have built that community, which Sony hasn't done. So, I mean, Phil is doing all the right moves, even though he's part of the most evil corporation of all time. But I got to give it to him, man.
Yeah. I like the dude. You know?
I like him too.
Say what you will. I think he's a good guy for what it's worth. I don't know. He might, murder cats in his spare time, but he's a good guy.
He's an okay guy for killing cats.
He's a good public.
I really hope him and Jeff Keighley just smoke weed together every day. Like they get off work and they're like, "Hey, I got this new boof here. You wanna boof?
Boof? You want a boof?
You want a hit of this boof?"
Yeah, during COVID and everything. I don't even think they live in the same.
It's a virtual boof.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So it's like, here, take this. And then Phil Spencer's like, oh, thanks. Here you go. And then they passes it back and forth. Anyway, that's That's the show. Not much going on because there's never much going on with during my weeks.
Well, and also it's like the new year. Like, what's gonna happen during the new year? You know?
I don't know. Ubisoft blows up.
Didn't that happen a couple weeks ago?
No,
Where there's
no,
like,
that's all fake.
oh yeah,
That was all fake. They were like on lockdown because there was a gunman,
but then there wasn't.
but then there wasn't, and it was just a crank call. So people were on the roof just hanging out for no reason. Anyway, that's
Like,
the show.
did you see the gunman? No. Did you?
No, I didn't see anybody. Let's go. Let's all go up to the roof. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, there's cop cars down there. They must. There's a gunman in there in the building. We don't know where he is. Next week, we're gonna be playing PlayStation Plus games.
What are
It's
they?
it's a new month. We got Greedfall for the PlayStation 4. We got that Shark PG. I forget, by the guys that did the Killing Floor game. I forget what it's called. Maneater. We got Maneater for the PS5, and then there's one more for the PS4. I think it's a Tomb Raider game.
Oh yeah, it's like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah. We'll be playing some of those, and we'll be talking about them next week, probably.
Maybe. I've played the Tomb Raider games, and I only like the first one.
I mean, I'm not playing that one. You should play Greedfall. I hear it's pretty good though. It's like a fantasy RPG where you like make friends. And
I do like making friends.
I know you do, especially in the virtual kind.
I like virtual friends. Yeah, that's why I like Stardew so much.
Anyway, here's our new segment on our new segment. It's a newish segment for recent reviews via OpenCritic. OpenCritic is, I've explained it before. Fuck you. We got Super Meat Boy Forever. It's got a 69. That came out like last week or something. It's a good one.
Did you know that game's like an endless? It's like an endless runner.
What?
That Super Meat Boy game. It's like an endless runner. That's what it is. Like,
I thought it was a remake of all the old ones.
it like runs for you, and you just hit the space bar.
Oh, fuck that then. That's stupid as shit. That's probably why I got a 69, you stupid.
You're just erasing it from the this game doesn't exist anymore.
This doesn't exist.
I hear it's alright, but I hear it's only like 4 hours long. So
stupid. Don't buy it. It's 69.
69.
Well, that's a good though.
Right.
We got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity that just recently came out. That's sitting at 80. So if you like those,
that's surprising.
Dynasty Warrior-esque.
Because normally Dynasty
games.
Warriors get pretty bad reviews because
60 to 70 usually.
they're just like not that good. But I guess
they're also so samey. It's always the same shit.
But you know, people love Zelda, so
yeah. And this one's weird. I didn't see this one on OpenCritic in the past, but it's been out for a while. We got Overcooked All You Can Eat as an 87 on OpenCritic. So I think that's PS5 only. So if you have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, get that shit. That's such a good game.
it is.
And this comes with all the DLC. It's 1, 2, and all the DLC. You got a question for us?
Yeah,
It's a question.
I've got a question. Why you right cunt there, eh?
Oh, what? You bloody what?
You what, mate? My question this week is, what are your guys' like predictions for 2021? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen with E3? You know, is there going to be a Switch Plus? Are we going to see the downfall of humanity? You know, like what's your guys' predictions? You know,
My money's on that last one.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. 2021 worse than 2020. Here we go.
Probably.
Ready for it. Hopefully not, though. I don't know if I can take another year like that. I'll shoot myself. Anyway, that's the end of the show. I don't know how long it was. Doesn't matter. I can go on forever. I'll just keep talking. Talk. Keep talking forever.
It's an hour.
Don't forget.
Good.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Like I said, I don't give a shit. You didn't have to tell me.
Oh, sorry.
Don't forget to check
20
out our
minutes.
other shows. Oh, okay. So just keep talking for another 40 minutes. Here we go.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out our other shows. We got the Jake and Corey podcast that airs every Monday on this channel, right here on this channel. Follow us on Twitter. I am at fatal_microwave. Jake is at emergency pizza _. Follow Jake on Twitch. Give him a follow. Give him a subscribe. Whatever you do on Twitch, I don't know.
Send me your bits. Clip my clips and
clip his bits. Send his clip.
Talk to me.
Send him clips and clip his bits. On the Twitter on the Twitch at twitch.tv/lonercast, where he is streaming Stardew Valley on the PC recently.
True story.
And yeah. Be a good fucking day, I guess. Be you. Be cool. Be Phil Spencer. Murder cats.
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed.